of like service work would be a word, service work, sharing work, and they're saying this is really good for you and it's good for the world. And they're saying, but they want you to remember self-care. Sometimes when we get immersed in something, I mean, and we're giving and we're loving and we're helping, we ourselves can kind of get down. So the angels are saying balance in this path, but it is a service to God. It is a way to make a difference. And then they're showing me lots of four-legged friends. So like cats, dogs, horses, whatever kinds of four-legged friends. Do you love the animals?
Yeah, I have an animal rescue actually.
All right. I think that's a wonderful pathway. Remember self-care. Remember, do a little bit for you too. You know, be able to take a day off, be able to like take a breath, be able to get some help sometime. There's a beautiful angel, and he's radiating, to me, blue and green. Those may be his normal colors, or just today he decided to be blue and green. But to me, that's like healing, good energy, spiritual energy. And then he says his name is Matt, or Matthew. And then I have a woman that comes in, and there's a place around here called Spencer, Oklahoma. And she shows me Spencer, Oklahoma.
My mom is Susan Spencer.
Okay, I want to come to you, but this angel is also there, and the angel is kind of like, I would say balancing, like putting your chakras at this, chakra healing energy, and the angel is talking to you about, in the last, I don't know, we'll say year, sometime, the last little bit, more has gotten on your plate, but you've not been better at taking care of you more. So okay, you want to do more. I want to do more. I want to have more work, whatever, you know. I want to go. I want to, you know, the angels are just saying, well, then you need to arrange your schedule for that too. Like, if I'm going to work more, then maybe I have to plan the vacation. You know, I have to plan 2 days off. I have to plan some downtime. So the Spirit is talking to you about balance, 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 because anyway, they show me a candle that's burning at both ends, and they're just saying, you know what, that can get tiring, no matter how much we love, like, oh my God, I love my job, still if you're burning, I do job, home, work, whatever, they're just saying to have more balance in, I guess, obligations and commitments and work, and remember families work too, and then some off time, some downtime, and it doesn't have to be equal, remember? Like, a couple hours of downtime really is good. So, okay, tonight I'm going to sit outside and have a glass of wine, talk to the stars, whatever. The next thing Spirit's talking to you about is, again, looking at the body. They're showing me some cellular things going on, but I think it's due to aura energy. So I want you to focus on, like, every day I'm going to cleanse and balance my aura for the next 7 days, or something like that. Every day I'm going to get my oils, I'm going to balance, I'm going to cleanse, I'm going to take 3 minutes, and I'm going to cleanse and balance. Because I feel like cellular, something is being cloggy, but I think if we could work this more, that could help us get unclogged. I have a friend named Powell. So the word Powell and then a Mary or a Marie.
Yes, my grandma.
First of all, she's saying to tell you that she loves you, and she's saying you've started on a pathway, like a job, material money pathway, and don't back out now. It's like kind of like, okay, I started up, but now I'm now I'm tired of it, now I'm getting, she goes, don't back out now. Like, power through this. I think next year, you're in a different place, either with the job or you graduated school or whatever. So it's kind of keep on this path, power through. You've done too much work. You've done too much work to abandon or whatever. Power through this. I don't know if the person's here, but the angels go, I want you to know I heard your prayers. So somebody here sent up a prayer. The angel says, I want you to know I heard your prayers, and I'm going to thump Ryan in the head. So that's it. So maybe someone said like, oh, shake him up, or, you know, give him a wake-up call, or something like that. I'm going to thump Ryan in the head. The angels are saying Sharon Osborne. So a Sharon or an Osborne or S-O? Anybody know that?
I'm Sharon.
Got a Sharon? Are you looking for something?
I'm looking for permission. Go on some sacred ground.
The angels are just saying that just because you get a no doesn't mean you can't ask again. And then I also feel like you need to pray that the right person be connected to you. Like if we call a company, God, angel, spirit, let the right person answer the phone, or let them give you. So I think the first thing would be no. But then you say, well, you know, so I wouldn't stop at the first no. I wouldn't stop at the first person who answered. I would say, well, you know, who's over, blah, blah, blah. You know, be able to move past. And then Spirit is saying, and speak from your heart about what you want to do. Spirit is saying there's a little bit of fear involved in it. So you're going to have to like be calm in your heart, be real in your heart, non-threatening, non-judgmental, whatever. And I think you can get it past, but I think it's going to be work. I think it's going to be work. And the next thing that they're saying is, and I don't think it's about that, but Spirit says you need some dowsing rods. You got any dowsing rods? Well, you should look into that. Like Google that, or you know, I don't even know really where you're getting this stuff. But Spirit is saying like you need some dowsing rods. He's somebody I see a lot. He's here and he says he wants to talk to the kids. And so do I have Skylar?
Yes, ma'am.
A different person came in that I don't think I know, maybe I do, but I don't think. And he said, tell you it's Jim or James. Do you know a Jim or a James?
That's me.
Our father's name is Jimmy, middle name is
No, not right offhand.
Okay. All right, I'm going to come to you, and then I want you to remember a J. Okay?
Okay.
The old man in spirit, Herman Munster, he's saying, well, I guess you're figuring out marriage is not for sissies. He said, I guess you're, you know, on the path here. And he goes, you know, it takes a lot to get along. You know, it takes a lot. He goes, girls and boys, you know, it takes a lot. And then he says, I want you to know that I'm proud of you because you have said, I'm going to stick to it. You know, I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to not let my emotional self get the best of me today. I'm just going to bite my lip, whatever, and I'm going to wake up tomorrow. And he's saying, I want you to know I'm proud of you. The next thing he's talking to you about is work. And he says he says, I want you to know you have what it takes. You need to know you have what it takes. Like materially in your brain, you know, the knowledge or whatever. Your personality can reach to what you want it to do. The person in spirit is saying, it's in you. You sow it's into you. You begin to bring that out more confidently, more, personally bringing that presence that I can do this, that I have this, that my personality, my knowledge, my spirit, I can do this. He's just saying that there's more step-ups available if you will step out. The more you step out, the more you can step up.
Thank you.
I do see there's a woman in spirit, and it's an old woman. Maybe she has a J. There's an old woman in spirit, and I might say a J or a G. A J or a G.
Jaden?
For Skylar, for them, I don't know. Somebody around them. Okay, then, do I have another Skylar? Does anybody else know that word?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know a Jim or a Jane?
I do.
The person in spirit is showing me like I would just say they're new to spirit. Now is new the last week, month, year. I mean, time is irrelevant. But they're still having their big party. So, like, this person is just like still in the good, and I'm laughing, and I'm seeing everybody. I want you to know that I'm well. And then he's saying, like, he has not decided what he's going to do. Like, he hasn't, am I going to get a God job? Am I just going to pray? Am I going to eat at the table all day? He's not really decided. But he's just saying, like, he's well, and he's in his party. He's in his party. A man in spirit, Patty, Patrick, something. He says he's blowing kisses to Debbie, and he wants you to know that I love you so much, I miss you so much, and then he goes, hello, hello, so he wants to say hi to other people too, like hi to everybody in the family, hi to other people. Then I see mine, Mother Mary, so there's also a female in spirit, maybe a Mary. And then the Mary person and the Patty, that person, they know someone named Debbie or Deborah. Yes, my name's Deborah. The Mary person said, Dad's gone fishing, so he's not available. A Cindy, so they're pointing at me a Cindy that would be here, and maybe a Cindy with an R, like Robert. And the angels are saying, Cindy or Cynthia? The angels are saying that money is up and down. So I just see like, I don't think money is good. I mean, I think that's somewhat stressful, like I can do this, okay, I am. Spirit is just saying money is up and down. I mean, money is like, I would say stressful. And they're just saying, quit letting your whole day be dominated by that money. Like, just pretend like if your checkbook said plus 10,000. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, I feel good, I feel good. Pretend that, we are defined by money, and the angels are saying that you let it get to you a lot, and that lack of money brings you down, like worry, stress. And they're saying to you, when you go to heaven, no one asks, no one cares. You know what I mean? And so you have all this stress about, all this worry about it. And yes, do you need money to live? Yes, you do. Yes, do you need money to pay bills? Yes, you do. I mean, those are factual things. Okay, yes, you do. But don't let that be huge. Don't let that be just like the dominating force in your field. Let yourself feel rich right now. Rich. You know, you're a child of God. That's pretty damn lucky, right? You have ice cubes in the freezer. That is really cool. You know what? There's people over there overseas, they don't even get ice cubes, right? So get in your being, man, I'm lucky. Man, I'm blessed. Everything is going my way. And it's not about money. It's not about money. A young person in spirit, you know, what's young, 5, 25, but he says, tell Dan, somebody here, Dan, Daniel, a name like that, tell Dan, hey, I want to say hi, tell him I'm doing well, tell him it's Brad, tell him it's Brad. Somebody like Brad, Bradley, a name like that, and then the other name like Dan, Daniel, a name like that.
Yeah, that's me.
Somebody in spirit, and I see my friend Wilson, but I don't think it's my friend. So somebody else that might know a Wilson. And then Cliff, like that big dog, Cliff. Melissa. This person in spirit is saying like you can see God in nature. They're like if you watch a butterfly or a bird or whatever, flowers, and they're just saying like you can see God in nature. And they're saying that someone around you is like noticing that or seeing that. And they're just saying like, yes, yes, you encourage that. You know, how many of us, we go outside, we didn't notice any, we didn't notice the flowers, we didn't notice the ladybug, we didn't notice all that God energy. And the person in spirit saying there's someone around you that's noticing that, and you tell them, yes, that's good, yes, I see that, oh, that's really cool, like that. There's a person in spirit and she says, tell Stephanie it's not winter ever over here. Ever. It's perfect temperature every day. And then I see the girl on Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine. So, Velma. There's a man in spirit and he's flying over us in a plane, like an airplane. Like he's driving the airplane. And so maybe he truly was a pilot, maybe he loved planes. And then he says he wants to say hi to Maddie, and he wants to say hi to Nate. Does anybody know that?
Yes. Brian.
Brian? He says, yes, it's Brian. And then he says there's another Brian down here, another B person down here. Brianna. Okay, he's saying hello, and then he's saying he wants you to know that he looks after you and that you have long futures. He says, remember, don't get so bogged down and like, oh my God, the pressures. He says, remember, life is about good times and about being with people and supporting people. And he says, remember, it's not all TV, it's not all the phone, it's not all that. He's saying, remember, he says, I've looked at your book, and I'm going to be one of your helper people. I want you to know I'm with you. And then he says he wants to tell Nate, he says, Nate, that you can have your own business and you can do things your own way. That there's a little bit of you that doesn't like to, I don't think that person knows enough, or they're not smart, or they're not doing it right. He says, well then you're smart enough to have your own business. You can do it your way. You can be the leader. You can be the one to be making the decisions. Yes, you're going to have to work hard for that, but know that that is in you.
Thank you, Cyndy. I love you.
Thank you. I told you I needed some love today. Thank you. The man in spirit says, tell her it's dad, tell her it's dad. And then I see my Aunt Linda, so maybe a Linda. And the dad in spirit, he shows me Presale, Oklahoma, the place. And he's saying, okay, enough of poor, pitiful me. He says, get your butt up and get busy. He says, when you sit too long, you can think too much, and little things become big things. He says, you know what, when you're busy, you just kind of let it go. There's, you're tired or you're busy, you're focused on something else. He goes, I want you to get focused on the future and focused and busy. So if you say, well, I don't do much, get a job. You say, well, I already have a job. Okay, then at nighttime, get some kind of a hobby you like to do. Get something that's pulling you forward, pulling you forward. There's a male in spirit, and he shows me my friend Heather, but I don't think my friend Heather is here. So the word Heather, and then like an acorn tree. He's getting some acorns, and then Joshua. Does anybody know that?
Yes.
The person in spirit says to tell you to be well in your heart. To be well in your heart, and know that they're sending you only good vibes. They're saying that on the earth plane, you and them got crossed a couple times, but they're saying, oh, no, that's none of what I take with me. None of what I hold with you. Remember the other time, the 98 other times, not the 2 times. And he's saying, and besides that, you were kind of sassy, and that challenge. Challenge me a little bit. So I see my mother Mary, so Mary's important. And then a young person in spirit, what's young, I don't know, but they, we wouldn't have said, oh yeah, they were really old and died. We'd say, oh, they were young when they died. And then there's a place called McBride Clinic. So anybody know McBride or Clinic? He says his mom is here. So a younger person in spirit, a mom here. Then I see my mother Mary. Okay. He's saying, Mom, I thought you were a Fruit Loop most of the time, but I see you were right. He's saying, on the earth plane, I just couldn't go there. I couldn't go into that spirit thing. He goes, but I want you to know that my body simply lifted up when it was my day and time, and I was free. And I want you to know my body was tired. My body was very tired. On that day, I was okay to go. I was okay to go. I realize you did a lot for me at the end, and I want to thank you for that. He says, make sure you tell everyone hello. Tell everyone hello. He says, tell my sis I love her. Tell my sis I love her. The next thing the angels are talking to you, and they're saying, oh, you're like a cat with 9 lives. You're not going anywhere. Like sometimes we think like, oh, I don't know if I could, the angels say, oh, you're not going anywhere. So might as well get happy. You know what I mean? Might as well just get happy, work it out. He said tell you it's DM, like David Michael, DM. There's another young spirit, but a young spirit, and they say their mom's here. And then I see a mom and a baby on the earth plane, but there's a young baby spirit over there. And the baby spirit over there says, oh mom, I'm still with you. I'm with you, and Karen's important. Maybe Karen is the baby or Karen is the mom. Does anybody know that? Okay, somebody here named Karen? Yes? No? Yes? Do you have a baby in heaven? They're playing music to me, guitar music, so maybe you play the guitar, somebody in the band plays the guitar, I don't know. And then they say it's Chris. Do you have a Chris? Do you have a baby girl? I'm glad we got all that worked out. Woo, good, good, good.
Baby girl. Cindy,
Yes?
we have to ask Karen about the baby girl.
Do you have a baby right now on the earth plane?
We have a baby in heaven, and also with your dad. Daddy's name's Chris, I'm Karen. You mentioned the baby.
Okay, so it's a Chris over there, and there is a baby down here, but there's also a baby over there. So maybe this child died at 5, and this child is 2, or I don't know, but I would just say young, wherever young is. And the one over here is saying I'm with you, you know what I mean? I'm with you, and I see that new baby. I see that new baby. That's what I know. Now I'm still back to Karen, because Karen's a big name right now. So, somebody else, a Karen. The angels are saying, Karen, we've been nudging you spiritually. We've been nudging you to take more steps. And then you're like, oh, yes, no, yes, no. The angels are saying, yes. It's number one, growing your soul. And the more you take the steps, the more God will reveal to you where he wants you to be. Because I don't know, what does God want me to do? I don't know. If you'll just get more on the path, then God will reveal where you're supposed to be. And then there's a woman in spirit, and she's saying hello, she loves you, and she says, tell you it's Norma, or Norma Jean. There's a Norma Jean.
That's me.
Do you know Barnett?
Yes.
Jackson, Seth wants to talk to you, and he says he wants to remind you that a word like friction, let me think of a different word, friction, resistance. That resistance is inside, not outside. So when something is occurring, resistance occurs inside of us, and then that makes turmoil. That makes bigger turmoil. If we said you know what they do on TV? They go, oh my God, there's going to be bad storms today. They start talking about it at 7 a.m. Bad storms, oh my God, bad storms, oh my God, and by 2 o'clock you're a wreck. You know what I mean? Because, oh my God, the storm. If you were just no resistance. Oh, probably going to rain. Oh, but remember, because tornadoes, and remember, I lived in more, so I know that. But I'm just saying, the more resistance, it's going to rain, oh my God, it's going to rain today. That just create resistance, trouble. And so we just said, yeah, it's probably going to rain. Who knows, it might not. You know what I'm saying? A scientist and a weatherman are about the same. You're just predicting shit. It might rain, it might not rain. Who knows? It might not. So no reason to be oh my God, it's gonna storm. Remember last winter when all the kids were out of school and no snow even fell? Remember that day? Snowmageddon's coming. Remember that's what they said. It's horrible. Everybody's all freaked out.
The weather forecast.
Okay, self-defense. Remember, resistance is internal, and it doesn't help this. makes you come or not come. My resisting doesn't make any, resist nothing. I live in the flow of God's open blessings. I trust the flow. I trust where I am. Whatever kind of words those are. There's an older spirit, and see, he says that he shows his granddaughter a dove. So maybe you see a dove or it's in your backyard or something. He says, I show my granddaughter a dove. And then he says it's a song for me and Mrs. Jones.
It's a pop show.
Okay.
Pop show.
Oh, another, he's a beautiful singer. I'm trying to think now. So another person that's singing me songs. And then I see an older female, and she has a pearl ring on. That's me. And then someone said, tell you Steve is here. And then someone says, birthday blessings, anniversary blessing. So maybe it's somebody's birthday, somebody's anniversary, etc. They're saying that they can tell you've grown, and they're very proud of you, and they're just saying, remember, sometimes when you grow beyond certain people. Like maybe say, well, we've been friends since high school, or we've been friends. The people in spirit are just saying there's something in you that's not willing to play that part anymore, and if you're not willing to play that part, that means something has to change. And they're saying the other person is still kind of in the blind, like they don't acknowledge it. And so the people in spirit are saying you've grown, and that's going to be somewhat of a change in people around you, but not to feel bad or sad, because that's a plus. It says you're growing. It says that you've got some new attitude about you that's healthier. And they're saying, so there's a shift in the people, but you're going to be just fine. You're going to be just fine. And then there's somebody in spirit said to tell you, Ralph. And there's also the person saying happy birthday, maybe to you or them, and.
Yes, both our birthdays.
I do hear you. A man in spirit says, tell Brenda it's dad. Tell Brenda it's dad. And then he has a J on his shirt.
Yeah,
We know that?
Yeah, that's.
He's saying you need to have a discussion first with your husband, and then kind of like a family meeting.
Yeah.
He goes, remember, do it first like this, and then there needs to be uniform thought process, and then a family meeting. And he's saying, remember that children pretty much, for the most part, at least 60, 50, 70%, they're going to react in their own relationships to what they've seen, what they've experienced, because that's what they know. That's what they know. And so the man in spirit is saying, you and your husband need to give more of a unified force about the way that men treat women, and about the way that we just have respect for all people, number one, but to be like, open the door, or give them your chair. You're on a bus, whatever you stand up, give them your chair. He's just saying there needs to be more of a unified force, because you have to teach them. For them to have, and this is motivating, for them to have a happy marriage, happy life down the road, you better teach them right, because those girlfriends are going to be pissy clappy, right? So the man in spirit is saying, remind Eric, this is in his best interest to get those kids on a better path about partnership. Because then they'll be happier, they'll get married, they'll have lives, they'll instead of like that. The angels say that sometimes Eric feels bad because he didn't start out this way 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago. And the angels tell Eric, but there's nothing like today. Right? If 10 years ago I didn't make them blah, 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 I didn't make them pick up their toys, I didn't make them clean up the living room, I didn't make them whatever. So what, you didn't do it, you can do it today. By God, new day, new rules, my house, right? Eric shouldn't feel guilty what he didn't do. He needs to step up today and what he does. That's what will shape his children. The angels are saying, Barbara, there's some kind of remodel in the house, and it's all remodeling things happening. You're going to want to pull your hair out, but it's going to get done, and you're going to love the new kitchen. You're going to love the new kitchen. So maybe a little slow going or whatever. Dennis John says he wants to tell his girl, and I don't know if that means wife or daughter, tell his girl that he's well, and I love you. Then the angels are saying there's a female here, Amy or Ann, an A name, with an M, an A-M, and the angels are saying that your healing path will include both earth plane physical doctor stuff, but also spiritual, like plant medicine, like traditional and non-traditional. They're saying your healing pathway will require both of those. Don't be afraid to do either route. Don't be afraid to do the doctor thing. Don't be afraid to do traditional. Somehow both of those steps. And the angels are just saying that you can heal. You can heal. So be willing to do the work on both sides.
Is that for Amy?
Yes, that's for an Amy. That's for an Amy. There's a man in spirit, and he said, tell you it's dad, tell you it's dad. And then, I think that's maybe to another Amy.
I said what Dad said. So is it Dad? Is it Dad?
I don't know, just a dad and an Amy.
I think
Young spirit says, Mom and Dad are here, Mom and Dad are here. And then A.S. Yes, I want to come to you. She's saying, oh my goodness, I love you. She said she's so happy it's springtime. And then she's saying, Dad, I want you to know that at job, there's some extra money coming up. And it's going to be a blessing. And then the next thing she's saying, it's good to see you both laughing just a smudge more than you were. You could always beef it up a little more, always beef it up, but you're laughing just a smudge more, and that makes me smile too. This is funny. So sometimes I like act like I'm the Cookie Monster or whatever, and I go like this, and like I grab like that. I go Gucci, 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 like that. Okay, so somebody in spirit's doing that. We're like Gucci, Gucci, Gucci. So maybe somebody else does that. And the guy says, tell him it's Charles, and boy do I miss it. So somebody got a Charlie, Charles, something like that. Maybe you like squished him in the side, or it's kind of a tickle thing. Oh yeah, I really miss that. Barry Manilow is here, and he says hello, 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 and then he says Ann or Anna, and a D,
Dondi.
and he's saying he's so happy for this day to have everybody back together. And he's saying there's just more love coming and more good energy coming to the family. And he says, I'm well. And he says, that makes me very well to see people smiling and loving. And the man in spirit says, tell Ann or Anna, like, don't have guilt. You're exactly where you need to be. So if you don't, like, so I don't live down the street anymore. I live 100 miles away or whatever it is. Don't have guilt. You're exactly where you need to be. And I want to tell my D, my lovely, lovely D person, there are new good things blooming in your life, and don't be afraid. You prayed for this. Now move forward. Move forward.
Thank you.
There's someone over there hunting, like hunter. And they say Ricky, anybody know that? A Rick Hunter? Yes, no?
Yes, Rick Hunter.
Rick Hunter. There's someone in spirit that's also like Hunter, so maybe that part of the family or whatever, I don't know. And that person in spirit is saying that they want you to know that they were given a new body, a new spirit, and that they're well. They had some kind of unwellness on the earth plane, and they're saying it almost drove them crazy. That's what they're saying. And they're saying, so they want you to know that all of that has been replaced, all of that has been taken away, all of that is, they have been given a new body, a new spirit, a new mind, a new energy. And they're saying, I want you to know I'm well. And they're saying, maybe they were disoriented when they died or around that time. They're just saying like, I got my stuff back. You know, maybe they slept all the time, maybe they were disoriented, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was Alzheimer's, something. I feel like my brain was confused. And they're just saying like, I got it back. I got it back. I want you to know I'm sharp. You know, I'm sharp. I got it back. And then Lita. Do you know Alita or Lita? There's two people holding hands. They say, tell them it's Kathy and Tom. So Kathy and Tom are together. And there's a man in spirit, and he's bringing a cupcake. Like maybe it's a birthday, you know what I mean? He's bringing a cupcake, and then he says, I want you to know I love you. And then he's saying, there's something for you to write down, like maybe keep a notebook by the bed, or maybe you remember your dreams, I don't know, but he's saying, you need to take more like notes, write more things down. He's saying you're being inspired. And then I see D, like David, or D, like Donald. D. And he's saying, I love you so much, I love you so much. And then he's giving you a big hug. And then he says, Chris. in spirit, and I think it's a J, a Jeff. And he says, I don't want you to have guilt anymore about my death and the way it happened. There were things known about my death, and I don't want you to have like bad feelings about that, or like you could have somehow made it all better, because I really wouldn't have listened, and I really wouldn't have let you make it all better.
Is it a Jimmy or a James?
I think it's a Jeff. So Jeff, Jeffrey, a J kind of name. And there seemed to be like maybe you didn't know he was dead for a while. Like maybe he died the morning you went to work, you didn't know, you know what I mean? There seems to be a gap in there. And he's just saying, it's okay. It's okay that like you didn't find me, or you didn't see me, or you didn't know for a little bit. I went to the other side, you didn't have to know, you know, in that moment. Blake Shelton. Anybody got a Blake or a Shelton? This little piggy went to market. A James Hunter.
James Hunt.
Do you know this little piggy went to market?
That was his big thing.
There's also a favorite aunt. Well, you were her favorite. I don't know if she was your favorite. She says the favorite. And then she says she was a little nutty. Like, you might not have really liked her.
That's
But,
my nickname.
oh, okay. Do you know Bernice?
Beatrice, that's my aunt.
Well, she really liked you. I don't know if you liked her. You know what I mean? But she really, really liked you. And she's saying stubborn runs in the family. And then she's saying make sure that you take better care of yourself. She's saying stubborn runs in the family. We really didn't take very good care of ourselves, and some of us suffered for that. She says, I want you to take better care of yourself. And then, again, a James or a Jimmy, this little piggy. That person wants to say hello.
Thank you.
The angels are saying they want to tell Jan or Janice or somebody like that. A Jan, Cole, anybody know that? The angels are saying you've stepped up to the plate and they're proud of you, but you need to have boundaries with the girl on the airplane. Like, I'm willing to do this for blank. You know, I'm willing to do this for a month, 6 months, a year, I don't know, whatever. I'm willing to do this. But you have to step up. The angels are saying they commend you for stepping up, but have rules about it. Have rules about it. And then they're saying that remind the young girls, allow them to be young. You know, like we get 18, 20, 21. I want to get married, I want to have a baby, I want a house, I want a job, I want bills. I was born about 25, you're tired of that. You know what I mean? So remind the young ones it's okay to kind of like not just pile it on. You can do this for a while, and then add that for a while. And then it's okay to build between 20 and 30 instead of just like kapag, like that. The angels say to tell Lucille that yes, indeed, everyone that comes into your life is for a reason. I mean, the people that you meet, you know, there's a reason, a lesson, and that yes, there is a lesson with Isaac. The next thing, there's an older woman in spirit, and I think she was a handful, whatever a handful is, and she says, tell my family it's Judy. Tell my family it's Judy. And she says, oh goodness, she is so happy that everyone comes together and everyone, she says, y'all still have praying about this one and praying about that one, but you're still together. And she says, I'm so happy, I'm so happy. Then another person comes in and says, Bonnie. I want you to know it's Bonnie. And, well, Bonnie says no, tell him it's Joe. So Bonnie might know Joe. Brother Joe. They are all well. They're all well. They want to say hello to their family.
Hello.
The young one who spoke, they said, oh yes, we're so proud of you. We're so proud of you that you have tried to make good choices to move you forward. And you are concentrated on creating a future that you would like. And they're saying, we're proud of you. We're proud of you. Margaret, so on the earth plane, Margaret was not very happy, and she said, tell Whitney that I'm happy now. Tell her that I smile all the time. Tell her that my soul is well. Tell Whitney that I'm happy. Martin, and then like Joe, or Jose, or anybody know that?
Say Martin.
A J. Martin?
That's me.
The angels say, J. Martin, that you have played long enough on the wild side, and it's time for you to go to the straight and narrow side. They're saying that you have worked your angels. You know what I mean? Like, they've got you out of some crap you got into, they didn't get you out of it, you paid for that crap. And they're saying, we want you to know that that's enough. That's enough of that. And they're saying, we want you now to be the man that you are, to be the character that you are. And yes, it is going to mean some different things in your life, some different kinds of choices, some different kinds of people. And Spirit says it's not that you're grading those people, it's that you're saying, I want a different kind of life. I want a better future for me. I want a better future for my family. I want a better future. The angels are saying, if you keep playing on the line, there's going to be more trouble for you. You quit playing on the line. You just decide, I'm not going to. And instead, I'm going to work my ass off, right? I'm going to work hard. I'm going to put in the energy. I'm going to go for my dream. And I'm not going to be on that side because I can do it. I can do it.
Thank you.
The angels also say, remember that you're being the example. Lots of little eyes are on you. Lots of young eyes are on you. Man, you can be a powerful, powerful image to them because they know you've been on the wild side. They know that's true. They can see that transformation. That's powerful. Hold a person in spirit like a grandma, great-grandma, and you know I'm a green. I think she's a brown, black, green. She's a name. She's a color name. And she says, tell Nikki. Nikki, have a person in spirit with a color name?
No.
Nikki, Nicole.
Yeah, this is Nikki Nicole.
Uh-huh. And do you have anybody in spirit that their name is a color?
Yeah, my grandma. Donna Brown.
Yeah, okay. She's saying to tell you that yes, you're a little weird for the family, but remember, you're the good energy. You know, like, old people are kind of stuck in their ways. Old people are like, I was raised like this, and this is the way it is, and blah, blah, blah. And then the young people come in and they don't have that same, like, well, I don't know what you're all saying about that. I don't know what that's a big deal about. I don't know. The woman in spirit say, remember, you're the new, and you're pushing them. You're pushing the old people, and they may not like it, they may not even get it, you know? But the person in spirit said, remember, you're the future, your energy. She says, don't back down, you be you be the weird one, you be the one that's like, don't even flinch because I'm like this, and I'm like this, and I'm going to do this, even though they're uncomfortable. Even though they're uncomfortable. You bring in a different kind of allowing than they've ever known. And that's just different. It's just, oh my God, oh my God. The grandma says, remember that prejudice does not exist over here. Zero. Zilch. Nada. For you to not hold it simply says you're carrying God's love. Right? So prejudice of people, color, gender, race, nationality, whatever. She says, remember, you don't hold it. The old people want to hold it, the old people, but you don't. Old woman in spirit, she says the girls are here, and then Melinda, and she says, tell Fonda I love her. Does anybody know that?
That's my daughter. They were here earlier.
Do you know Melinda?
She's my grandma.
Okay. The grandma wants to tell Fonda I love her. Let her know that she's still close in my heart, close in my soul.
Thank you.
A young person in spirit, which young, 5, 25, I don't know, but a young person says, and I see my brother Joe, so maybe a brother or a J. And then he says Caleb.
That's my brother James.
Do you know Caleb?
That's me.
Okay. This person says, I want you to know that as you move and breathe and grow through life and laugh, that I get to feel it too. So I'm not missing out. I'm right there with you. As you breathe and move and laugh, I'm right there with you. And he says, you know, I know it seems like a lot of pressure, but you got to take care of Mom. And he's saying, like, I know that seems like a lot, but you know what? You can do it, and she really, really needs you. So call her, check in with her, whatever you do, you know. He's saying she really, really needs you. And then he's saying she will get better. Like if she's health-wise sick or spiritually stuck, she will get better. You remind her that everything is okay. Like in her heart, she feels like her heart is broken. You remind her it's not broken. You remind her that she's well. I'm with God. Her heart is not broken. You tell her that. She says, and remember, you truly were Mom's favorite. So it's okay that you're there because you really were the favorite.
That's 100% true.
He's saying, you know, and he says he's okay. You know, that's okay, that in this lifetime, you know, it wasn't that role for him. He's just saying it's okay. I want you to love her. I want you to be there for her. I want you to help her heal. That he's saying that your mom needs some healing. She needs to know it's okay. And you help her know. Tell her I said it's okay. It's okay to heal. And tell Mom I'm not mad about anything. Tell her I'm not mad about anything. An old woman says, tell Crystal that I love her, and I'm not technically an angel, but I'm, you know, looking after you. And then a Bob or Robert says to say, hello, and then says, make sure you tell my family hello. So I don't think his family is here. Do we have a Crystal here that has a grandma named Kathy? Okay, that was for you. That was for you. There's a family over there, and they're in the downtown Oklahoma City party bus, and they're drinking and eating, and they say to tell Emily with a T, that they are all well, and they're actually getting along, getting off and they're having a good time. They also have a dog with them. So maybe you have a family dog and they've got him too. Everybody's rocking and rolling. Okay, remember that you all have angels and guides and people in spirit, and you can feel them and sense them, and just know they're with you. I'm going to be back here at this hotel at a non-fair on Sunday, May 26th. I think it is. It's the Sunday of the holiday weekend. So if you'll watch the Facebook or your emails or whatever, you can always come to that event. Everybody talk to your angels, talk to your people in heaven. Thank you, thank you, thank you.